Tigers baseball is presented by Figer Law. Saturday in the park. I think it's a week after the 4th of July. This is the perfect weather for a Major League Baseball game. It's the way you should spend your weekend in the summer. Outside, weather that rakes, 83 degrees, light wind, brilliant.
Yeah, good pitching weather too. Casey Mize on the bump tonight. He's going to want a little swing and miss, Jay. This is a really tough offense. There's a lot of power in it.
He's the Tigers starting pitcher, presented by Wallside Windows. And boy, the matchup from 2 through 4 in this order. Casey's always been great at neutralizing left-handers. Schwarber, Harper, Marsh, all in a row. That battery could be central to Casey's night tonight, as we'll show you the Phillies batting order for Don Mattingly. And Philadelphia is still 6th in home runs in Major League Baseball. This is slugging against breaking balls. You showed everybody that high slider, that front door slider he's willing to throw. Marsh, Harper, some big numbers in that spot. So you figure maybe splitters that way.
Yeah, splitters and the slider to the lefties. Yeah, the slider's been a good pitch for him against lefties, but it's not one that's like a big swing and miss strikeout pitch. The split's always been his swing and miss. The fastball's been really good this year. It's all locating, get ahead in counts, go out and pitch your ball game, Casey.
Tigers and Phillies game 2. Tigers can win the series, and off we go. Wheels up time is 6:11. We are thrilled to have you along for Tigers baseball this evening, wherever you might be. Hopefully you're out at a barbecue, you're around friends, you're taking in Tigers games together once again, because this is the hottest team in the American League right now. They've won 6 in a row.
They've been chasing down that division lead and finding themselves very much in the wild card hunt.
It's the Tigers and Boston Red Sox who are the two best teams over the last week in the American League. Boston's won 7 straight. Tigers have had some blowout wins. Swing and a miss, but the Red Sox are up again today, trying to climb back in it as well. The trade market is changing before our eyes because of these two teams.
I feel for all the people who put in all that effort, all the scouts going out, seeing all these players, thinking, there's a possibility of trades, only to say, well, we got to scout some different teams now, because the ones we thought that might be more happy to do deals may be less happy to do deals.
It is in the American League. You have 6 teams within 3 games of the last wild card spot. 6. 3-2 is up. It's ball 4 to Trey Turner, who can really run, and that is a dangerous game to play. This is the American League wild card. It's like somebody closed 2 lanes of the highway.
And you know, by the time September hits, it's going to be on, because there's going to be some really tight races. Who can weather the storm through the end of July and August to put themselves in a position to really have a squad going into September, make that September push into October.
First pitch slider to Kyle Schwarber, who, as you outlined yesterday, annihilates fastballs.
He's one of the best fastball hitters in baseball, and doesn't just hit them, he hits them out of the park. He wants to hit everything on the pull side. He's timed up for the fastball at all times.
And Schwarber pops up that slider. Another elevated slider, and that is out number 1. Tigers starting defense is always brought to you by Marygrove Awnings in partnership with Andy Dirks.
See Green in left, Vierling in center, Maljury in right. This is the we're facing a left-handed pitcher type of defense. Kevin McGonigal, McKinstry, Hayuli, Torkelson, and Eduardo Valencia, who has really made a mark in 2 games for the Tigers, gets the start behind the dish.
How about that?
Yeah.
Here's Bryce Harper, who the Tigers got out 3 times inside in the strike zone last night. It was 3 fly ball outs. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. There was a time where if you threw the ball there to Bryce Harper, you were going to get torched, and you still might.
He was just a little late yesterday. And you saw him have some fly balls to left field. And as a left-handed hitter, when you're flying out to left in that pop-up variety, you're just not quite getting the barrel out in front of your body. That's where you're going to do damage.
So if you saw that he was late last night,
Yeah.
What are you thinking if you're Casey Mize and Valencia?
Fastball works, but you got to get ahead. 2-0 is a different count than 1-1 to a guy like Bryce Harper. He can hit the ball out to left and to center and to right.
He is in a rarity for him. 0 for his last 19 as he stands in here. 2-1.
When that makes sense, you know, when a guy's late, you're trying to get to the fastball, then you're out in front of the off speed and the breaking pitches.
2-1. It's a slider away. 3 balls and a strike. You know, it's interesting with the guys they have at the top of the lineup, and you're not going to be fastball heavy to start the game. You're boom or bust with your breaking ball right out of the chute, and that's the way Casey Mize has gone so far. Late on a fastball, 3-2.
Even in a 3-1 count, you can see him kind of using his right arm, like trying to find his path. But that's good news for pitchers if he's going to be a little late on a 3-1 heater, because now he's trying to play catch up. But it is Bryce Harper.
He's a 9-time All-Star. He is one of the best players in the league.
I was looking at his spray chart from like the last 5 years. It is ridiculous. He hits it everywhere, from foul pole to foul pole with power.
3-2. Foul left side. So our crew has built the spray chart for you.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Like if a coach came up and handed this to me, I would laugh and be like, yeah, that's real funny. Like there's a player that does that. Because all those home runs out there to left field, that's not normal for a left-handed hitter.
No, Schwarber doesn't do that.
No.
He's got 32 homers. 3-2. It's right side base hit. Turner had to wait, but he's still going to get to third. And Harper to second base. It's a double for Bryce Harper on 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the Phillies have 2 on.
Yeah, he's a tick late on the fastball, so the slider he's pretty much on time with. And that one stayed up, hovered over the middle of the plate, just pulls it over in the hole. Nice job by Turner to get out of the way of that ball.
Yeah.
But one thing about Bryce Harper is that guy always plays the game hard. Like right out of the box, he's thinking double the whole way. That's not like a guaranteed double when you hit a ball in between first and second base.
It was the first series of his major league career. He ran into a wall at Dodger Stadium. And the narrative around that, quote unquote narrative, was, oh, you gotta throttle that down. You gotta, yeah, we're 13 years later, he still doesn't care. And he's one of the best players in the game, and could be one of the best players in the history of the game by the time he's done.
For sure.
Give him credit for being himself throughout.
Yeah, he has always just been ferocious on a baseball field. Goes and gets after it. Got to respect that.
2-0. Marsh on the ground to first, and Torque with a bluff of a throw. He looks Turner back and takes out number 2.
We knew the slider was going to be important. After giving up a double to Bryce Harper with it, he's not afraid to throw it to Marsh. Gets him to swing over it. That little chop to Torque. That's the important pitch for him. That has been his pitch against the lefties, that and the split.
I mean, he's almost 40% slider in this game so far. Pulled that fastball against Bohm, 1-0. But that's going to be the pocket all night. And that's when you play the Phillies, where they typically break your windows.
For sure.
Bohm pops it up, and he is frustrated. Second base, Hao-Yu Lee makes the catch, and Casey Mize survives some first inning traffic. No score. Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Slugging versus off speed will be key all day long. Dylan Dingler, 476. Hao-Yu Lee, 412. Malgiri and Valencia looking for their first hits against off speed pitches in their major league careers. It's Christopher Sanchez on the hill. He was confounding last time he saw the Tigers, but he had one of his worst starts of his major league career on Monday in Kansas City.
That's one of those things, though, you don't always like to see. When an elite starter has a bad day, they usually lock it in their next outing.
Sinker, strike 1.
Hey, sinker, changeup, slider. It's an arsenal that everybody knows. He throws a lot of changeups to the righties. Gets a lot of ground balls, gets a lot of swing and miss with the changeup and the slider.
So last time he saw the Tigers, he threw the highest percentage of changeups that he'd thrown in a start in his major league career.
Yeah, we saw it, and it was strikeout and whiff for days.
There it is, 55%. Tigers were 1 for 15. 14 swings and misses, which wasn't somehow the highest of his career. It was 7th in his major league career. 0-2, line to right center off the changeup. 1 for 1 tonight. That's on 2 strikes for Vierling. Look, last start, when he was in the strike zone, he was giving up hits off that changeup. Look at the location of this thing.
They're up enough in the strike zone. He's best when he starts it in the strike zone, works it out of the strike zone. And you see how that one started up? Yep. Vierling saw it right out of the hand. Does a nice job squaring it up.
Now McGonigal, first pitch, strike 1. It's so much about location.
For sure. If it's up, it's hittable. Anybody's off-speed offerings are.
Now McGonigal, who leads the American League in wins above replacement. He's been one of the best players in baseball as he swings through a slider. Can't even imagine his cell phone last night after homering against the Phillies. His hometown team, you saw in the pregame the map of how close he is.
Against Nola, who you guarantee.
Ooh, sort of first, and they got him. Vierling trying to get back, and he is out.
That's that just step off with the left foot snap throw. Not many lefties can do this as quickly as Sanchez just did right here. He got him when he was getting off the bag. Took a few steps to his right, caught him on that right foot, leaning his weight out, couldn't get back.
Bryce Harper, former catcher, goes up to get it and then tag in one fell swoop. One, two. Tigers are 44 and 50, 2.5 out of a wild card spot. 5 games out of the AL Central lead. The White Sox, who won earlier today against Ath. McGonigal, fly ball left field side and playable for Marsh. 2 down, and the Philadelphia defense goes like this. Marsh in left, Hill in center, Rincones in right. You have the Gold Glover Real Muto back behind the plate. Bohm, Turner, Stott, and Harper. That infield is ironclad. Those guys have been around together for years now for Philadelphia as the core. And this Phillies team, of all of the groups in the National League, they and Atlanta and the Dodgers, all 3 of them have so much time on task together.
Yeah.
As a group, that might be part of why the National League is doing what it's doing, is all of the teams that are just so sturdily built from the ground up with a core that's been around together for a while.
That makes sense. Playing next to the same guys over and over, you understand them, you know the range, you know how they feed double plays, and the list goes on and on.
Good to see Dylan Dingler back in the lineup, by the way. That stitching on the hand kept him out for a couple days. Our Henry Ford health injury update. He got hit on that ricochet a couple of days ago against the Athletics. Left the game after catching the end of that inning. Jake Rogers came in, got himself a home run. That hand was pretty swollen for Dylan Dingler the other day.
Yeah, it's that right hand. So it's the top hand on the bat, and the meat of the webbing between the thumb and the first finger is pretty sensitive once it's all inflamed. If you get jammed, you feel it. So you see he's wearing that big thumb guard. A lot of guys wear that regardless, but that helps absorb some of the shock if you do get jammed.
Where is the meat of the web of the hand? He points
right
to it.
There.
Where is it on his hand?
So the thumb, it's right here. So this part of your hand, it gets beat up Yeah. I was a lefty, so you get jammed all the time, and this thing gets all poofy and swollen.
Poofy.
Yeah, it's just another day at the office, Jason. I know when you write with your little electronic pen, that happens too.
Electronic pen. Change up, strike 3. Inning over. No score after 1.
Getting the dish responsibilities for Casey Mize today. Now, when Valencia was first coming up, guys, he was a first baseman. His older brother, Ricardo, who was actually a catcher in the Texas Rangers system, he had encouraged him, he was primarily playing first base when he was in Venezuela, and he said, I'm telling you, if you want to get signed, you got to become better at catching. So he moves behind the plate, gets obviously a lion's share of the load back there. His brother's still in the Texas Rangers organization, never made it to the big leagues. He's actually a pitching coach now in their minor league system, but Valencia took the tutelage of his older brother, Ricardo. The dream has become real. Obviously, one of the guys he's looked up to from a very young age, Salvador Perez, who's still doing it, by the way, which is pretty wild because I think there's about a 12-year age gap between the two. But he and his brother had a chance to meet Salvi at some point way back when on the journey. But in talking with him yesterday, again, you guys are talking about his personality, and we saw the raw emotion after he, the first home run in his first big league at bat. He had said, after so many years in the minor leagues, he said, I thought that maybe my career was done. I had started to accept that maybe I can stay in the game as a coach of some sort. And Tigers re-sign him. 2025 starts in Erie. 2026, here he is at the show.
It is a remarkable story. And, his brother, as Johnny said, didn't make it to the majors, but he played 7 years in the minors. And you can get a lot of experience with a lot of different types of pitchers as a catcher in the minors. A-ball, high A, finished in high A, Eduardo's brother Ricardo did, 47 games back in 2018. But, Greg Gania asked the question today of A.J. Hinch in the press conference. Like, people have... There's strike 3 and 1 away. First strikeout behind the plate for Valencia and 1 down. About scouting, and AJ was like, look, Johnny, you heard it. AJ was like, just because people have criticisms of somebody at a position, we start to assume that they can't do it, and that's not the case.
Right. No, I was laughing because I thought you were going to say they'd asked him about his familiarity with Casey Mize. Has been talking about him for 72 hours. Like, he'll have the scouting report ready to go. But to your point about the incremental improvements that he made, with framing, just with everything that comes with alignment, everything that they wanted to see him do in the minors. Again, when you start in Erie in 25, it was like, okay, then you go from there to Toledo. It's natural progression. But he hadn't had a bunch of time playing Double-A, obviously not any Triple-A, in his first 6 seasons in the minors. So it was like, can you show us what we're looking for behind the plate? He says yes, and now obviously been rewarded. They said they've been trying to get him up here for quite some time.
Ground ball to third. McGonigal sings it for out number 2. And we talk about pitcher for strikeouts, but for a catcher, a young catcher like this, Casey Mize knows the importance of bolstering your guy too behind the plate. Like, hey, that's number 1 for you. Nice job.
That's a good pitch call. They went to the slurve. That's not one of Casey's primary pitches. He's thrown it more this year. He's been working on it. But to have the confidence for Valencia to go ahead and just call that thing in that spot.
You know what that looked like, Andy? That looked like the payoff of a conversation they had pregame.
For sure.
That would be my guess. Like, hey, in a spot like this, maybe that slurve plays.
Yep. That's exactly right. After going at him with the fastball and slider combo, dump that on the back foot.
And a very easy button to push on PitchCom is the splitter for Casey Mize.
Right, and he hasn't thrown a ton of them. He's thrown a ton of sliders and mix it up, and you can see Racones kind of nod his head like, okay, he's going to throw that one too.
And another. A buffet of splitters.
Yeah, when you mix pitches like Casey is right now, it's really tough as a hitter. Lots of sliders, goes to Racones. If the Tigers score 3 or more runs in this game, you can visit a participating Arby's location tomorrow and receive a free small order of curly fries.
Bottom 2, no score. The All-Star Christopher Sanchez is outside with a changeup to Spencer Torkelson.
If you could multiply the curly fries. Like you'll get 3 orders today after scoring 10 runs yesterday. I don't think you can.
I don't see that on the fine print.
There's that changeup.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're Torque, how do you handle the changeup?
You got to work the big part of the field.
You think?
You have to work the big part of the field. His sinkers got hit hard this year.
Not if it's there.
Yeah, it's borderline. It's a tough pitch.
Cartoon Box says challenge it. One, two. Strike three. He pumped in a sinker, and we get a challenge. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
That's that little swing back right there from Sanchez.
That's a tough pitch to challenge because you don't really know.
The one away is the better one to challenge because if it looks away, Jason, because it's got sinking action, if it looks away, it probably is. The one on the inside part, like a righty that throws a sinker to a lefty, if it looks in, it probably wasn't because it's coming back.
It's almost got to hit you if you're a right-hander. Like, it's just depth perception-wise, that's got to be really difficult to see for a righty.
Sure. And you know Torque was thinking changeup that at bat, and that's why he got those two sinkers, but he painted both of them, so what are you supposed to do there? Well, people would say challenge the one that was away. But in the heat of the moment.
Well, that's the other part of it. If you didn't challenge the one away, it's a know thyself for every hitter in Major League Baseball. I've had multiple managers tell me this year that inside outside is a really tough challenge
for sure
for guys,
especially a guy with an elite sinker. Sanchez's sinker moves a lot. It's got a lot of arm side run.
0-2. It's a changeup. It's a low. It's 1-2, and that arm side run is meant to trick your eyes.
For sure. If the ball looks like it's in off the plate, it's probably coming back to be a strike. If it starts away, it's going to be a ball away.
Yeah. 1-2 coming. That's strike three on a changeup. Here we go again. Sanchez, 3 straight punch-outs.
Yeah, he's feeling the groove. This is a little different look of a changeup. It actually starts up, but left on left, by design, it's coming across Riley's body. And you can see it looks like probably slider out of hand, and you go, oh, that's going to break off the plate away, and then it comes back because it's got that changeup spin to it.
Now Valencia, who swings at the first pitch on a changeup, and Chevy's strongest player is that changeup. Its ranks as a pitch since 2025, tops in opponent's slugging percentage, 4th in average, 2nd in whiff rate. You said it earlier, he and Tarek Skubal have just victimized lefties and righties with that pitch. And Valencia went up aggressive. Sanchez has counterbalanced that with 2 great changeups.
Yep, against a young hitter. He knows he's looking for a fastball. He saw what he did. Hitting the home run off the lefty in his first at bat. Word gets out pretty quickly on what guys are capable. They know he's got pop.
Sure.
16 home runs in AAA, first professional at bat in the big leagues. Hits a homer to straightaway center. They say, be careful with this guy.
Shoved him off the plate with his sinker. It was 3 straight changeups and nearly 3 straight swings and misses. Then to reset, it's a sinker to your hip.
Yeah, you know what that said now.
Uh-huh. If this isn't a changeup,
I mean, he could have just been like, if it starts anywhere at the bottom rail, just let it go.
Eduardo's going to swing his way out of this at bat one way or the other. I mean, he's like the guy who gets into the escape room, and within 2 minutes, he's like, where's the clue? I think there's a clue missing in this at bat specifically. 1-2, he threw him a sinker. It's a ground ball to short, forcing Turner to wheel and deal and get the out. Surprised he threw him a sinker, actually. Almost called Sam, best call. Casey Mize a little inaccurate in the first inning with a couple of sliders. Second inning, 12 pitches, 11 strikes.
Locked it right back up, and that's just a product of getting ahead in counts. Going right after guys. He threw a lot of sliders in that first inning. And we saw him bust out the split that last at bat to end the second.
First one to Derek Hill, the last batter Casey Mize has not seen. It's a fastball. It's a strike to Hill, who was 3 for 4 in last night's game, as a late scratch from Crawford, the starting center fielder. Justin Crawford put Hill in the lineup. 2 strikes on Hill. StatCast provides you Derek Hill's hits. That homer was on a curveball that showed itself out of hand. It was down below the zone.
They did a good job. That was a first pitch curveball from Flaherty, and he went down and got it. Hit it out to left center.
No surprise, it was the only curveball he saw in last night's game.
They tend to run away from the stuff you hit hard. That's why if you can get on a starting pitcher's fastball in a game, for the most part, there's guys that are, like Sanchez, more changeup heavy. You can really get them out of their game plan.
Yeah, because they feel like they have no answers.
Yeah,
right.
And they lose confidence in it too. It's like, maybe I don't have it today.
Two rolled to third. McGonigal thought about charging and then decided to back up, had to rush it, and Hill beats it out.
Yeah, that little hesitation there. Thought he was going to come in and catch a short hop, but decided to back up, and then he was flat on his feet for the throw. So right off the bat, he took a couple in, then he tried to back up. But as you try to collect yourself as you're moving backwards, there's just not much energy going towards first to get a good clean throw. You see, I kind of had to sidestep it and just use his arm. That's why third base is tough. That hop right off the bat is tough to read to perfection.
They'll call it E5. And rightfully so, it looked like. I think Kevin would tell you.
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's like once he decided not to charge it, he found himself flat-footed.
There goes Hill. Valencia's throw to second is high, and that is the one thing that you figured Philadelphia might decide to try to prey on. We get a challenge of the strike as well. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And it is a ball.
Ball is overturned to a ball. Philadelphia has 2 challenges remaining.
Philadelphia is going to make sure they see what Valencia can do controlling the run game. A.J. Hinch said before the game, you have to throw it well enough to make sure that it's not a track meet.
Right. Kind of a delayed jump. Valencia didn't get it out real quick. But the pace of game in the big leagues is something you got to adjust to. Just being ready for guys to try to take off.
Tight slider, 2-2. That's why I was a little surprised that Trey Turner didn't go on the leadoff walk.
Right. They just stay under that slider. Casey's made a conservative effort to try to keep that thing on a horizontal plane, so they do just that.
There he goes again. Throw down to third is right there. Oh, safe.
This is close right here.
Really close. That was a much better effort from Valencia.
Yeah, you saw him go. It was a tough pitch. It was down and away, threw a bullet there. It's just, did the tag get there in time?
And did he have the ball in the end? Yeah.
Man, that's close.
I think the tag was a little bit late, Andy.
Yep. That'll draw the infield in here.
3-2. Slice to center field. Vierling in right center makes the catch. Hill tags and scores, and the run game for Philadelphia gives the Phillies the lead.
And you can tell they want to test it right out the gate with the rookie catcher. Kevin gets over there in time. Man. The throw was there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Jay.
On the finger, yeah.
He is all over. I think they got him.
That was the angle that made me think it. I don't know about you.
But you don't have a lot of time to look at it. But right here, he caught the ball right there. He's out.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's worth the challenge. It gets the Phillies a run. 0-2.
And it also means if there's a safe call, they're going to continue to try to run.
That's right.
You know, if you throw a couple guys out, that'll slow them down to a degree. But if they're safe a lot, they're going to keep trying it.
I would wager that they'll keep going until there's an out call.
Yep.
Casey Mize, 3 pitches to a strikeout of Schwarber, 2 down. That was ridiculous.
Got to head quick. Good split down. You know, Schwarber's always trying to do damage on the pull side. 2-strike approach doesn't apply.
No. Two down, Harper. There's a lot of conversation, and there was last year, about Riley Green's strikeouts. You'd take Kyle Schwarber right now.
Yeah, I'd take Riley Green last year. Right now.
Kyle Schwarber's got 141 strikeouts.
Yeah.
He leads the league with 32 homers, and every general manager would take Kyle Schwarber right now. Vaulted to center. It's Vierling again. But the error and 2 stolen bases get Philadelphia the lead 1 crew.
Very nice threads. I love the buttons, the quality. The collars stay nice and neat. They don't get all, you know, like that.
How does that go?
I like the stretchy material too. It's been good even when it's been really hot.
Yeah,
I haven't felt like, oh man, I'm overclothed.
I know you hate being overclothed. There's a strike. You know, we're just told to say it's the official wardrobe provider. We are not told to say these are great in summer, but they absolutely are. Like, that is 100% true. And we know about constricting wardrobe rules in summer months. We're no longer a part of that.
Yeah, you could be overclothed.
Yeah.
There was a time in history where people used to wear more layers in the summertime, and it leads to a lot of sweating and being uncomfortable.
Yeah, we as people, not as a TV network.
Grayson definitely has figured it out with these.
0-2, how you lead to left on a line. And Brandon Marsh runs it down, and we get a message from Figer Law.
At Figer Law, every case is personal to us, and we won't stop until we bring home the win. Figer Law, all we do is win.
Before one of those games in Texas, A.J. Hinch got on some conversation, I don't remember how he got there, but about Connie Mack wearing sport coat and tie as a manager in Major League Baseball, the longtime athletics manager when they were in Philadelphia. And A.J. was talking about, you know, he's maybe 30% full uniform. There he goes with the pullover today, but he has a rotating wardrobe situation as well.
Yeah, Leland used to wear spikes back in the day as a manager.
For what?
In case you got to run out on the field, just be part of the crew. But I think he was also one of the first to wear like not the uniform. So I think he was like polar opposite. Like what everybody else was doing, he's like, no, I'm going to keep wearing spikes. And they're like, no, you have to wear. He's like, no, I'm going to wear a pullover.
Just always against the grain.
Yeah, sure.
It's great. AJ also mentioned the Bobby Cox era Braves. That's a wild decision sartorially.
That's got to be a wedding party or something.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
2-1. Up and out, 3 balls and a strike to Malgiri. But Bobby Cox and his entire coaching staff went full uniform. It wasn't pullover or quarter zip or anything like that. They, you know, you think about it, Bobby Cox, Leo Mazzoni sitting next to each other for all those years on TBS. Always in full Braves regalia. 3-1 on the ground at third. That's Bohm snaring it and throwing it, and save. Malgiri is safe. Bohm had to heave it from almost another flat-footed position, and that likely is an infield single.
Yeah, that had trouble written all over it right off the bat, and as soon as he fielded it, it handcuffed him really bad. And anytime you can't get that momentum going over towards first base, that is a long, long throw. If you ever want to see where there's skillful throwers, go up there behind third base and look across the diamond on a big league field, and you go, wow, that's a long ways over there.
Now Z-Mac, first pitch swing, slicing it for left center. Hill on the run, he lays out and makes the catch. Goodness gracious, Derek Hill into that gorge in left center, and that is brilliant. Man, what a play.
That's how you save a run, potentially a game. This is a hard hit ball that's slicing away from him. Dead sprint to full-on dive deep in a gap. He didn't slow down one iota. All the way through the baseball. Spectacular play. Yeah, that's all you can do there if you're Z-Mac.
That's exactly right. It's our All-State Good Hands replay, and Derek Hill just changed this game with one dead onrush to left center field.
His legs are the difference of this ball game right now. He stole 2 bags, scored a run, and now running it down in that left center field gap. If he doesn't get that, that's a run. Z-Mac's on third.
You're right. It's a triple, and we're tied. Line drive, right field, base hit. Algieri stops at second. He was in shallow right when Rincones collected it. But we're talking about 31.5 feet per second. That is 1 more foot per second than Henry Bolte on the base paths from the last series, who's the fastest guy in baseball.
Well, there's a reason he was a first-round pick by the Tigers back in the day when he was 18 years old. He can flat out fly. He's a great athlete. Can really move, cover some ground. And he's in the ball game because Crawford got scratched yesterday. I would imagine his knee's still not quite ready. But to just come into a baseball game and make impacts like he has the last 2 days, impressive.
He just flung himself at that baseball, too. I think of the ground he covered on the dive.
Yeah. Outfielders are pretty good athletes, some of them out there.
I don't know many.
They can cover some ground, some of those guys.
0-1. Kevin grounds it foul, 2 strikes. This is a couple weeks ago, late June, against Juan Soto in right center at Citi Field. And I mean, he just wrenched that arm up there. You can see him feeling it.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
That is
absolutely ridiculous. There's certain things in baseball you can't teach. Hill just showed us 2 of them.
Change up, strike 3. Inning over. Tigers leave a pair. Hill keeps the Tigers scoreless.
American Park on Friday, July 24th, to see Flo Rida perform for our second Sounds of Summer concert series presented by Rocket. Visit tigers.com/soundsofsummer to get your tickets now.
So here is Brandon Marsh, who takes ball 1. And the defining characteristic of Brandon Marsh, other than his .305 average and his fantastic season, is that long hair that you would say in the summer, like why and how and all that. It's actually a beautiful story. He lost his father 5 years ago. His dad, Jake, was always a very clean-cut guy. As the story goes, there's a great piece in Philadelphia Magazine about Brandon Marsh. He was always a clean-cut guy, got his hair cut every week.
Okay.
And as a hat tip and kind of a chirp at his dad, who passed away, he keeps the hair as long as possible.
It's a good way to remember him every day.
Isn't that great?
That is. That's really good.
1-2. To 1 hopper, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. In this case, Brandon Marsh has become the tree.
I'm going to guess his dad had a pretty good sense of humor.
What a cool relationship.
Yeah. It's like, this for you, Dad. All that money that you spent on your haircuts, yeah. I'm going to get the family back.
3 balls and 2 strikes. And that is off the plate, ball 4 on a slider that missed. So Marsh takes a walk. The All-Star Brandon Marsh. What a season he's had. He's been the engine for this team in a number of ways. So he's going to be the first Phillies outfielder to start an All-Star game in 17 years, which is hard to believe considering the run they've been on. But it was Raul Ibanez and Hawaii's own Shane Victorino in 09, who were the last Phillies
Wow.
to start the All-Star game in the outfield.
Would not have guessed that.
No. 0-1 to Bohm. There goes Marsh. It's a foul ball.
Like you said, until you throw a guy out, they're going to keep trying it. Marsh has got 8 bags on the year. Good runner. Above average. Won't blow the doors off completely, but you can see what the Phillies are thinking right now.
Well, and at the very least, and Don Mattingly is a very smart baseball man, at the very least you put more stress on Valencia.
Yeah, now because he's trying to manage different parts of the game. Your first time catching a big league ball game, you're just trying to call the right pitches, frame pitches.
Don't have to frame that one. Good night.
That slider has got him all befuddled. It just looks like out of hand. He's thinking, okay, that's going to carry off the plate, or it's going to be up. It's a fastball up and away. Just drops in the slot. Up in that little corner. Casey's done a nice job of hitting those different spots in different quadrants, up and away to lefties, up and away to righties.
And with that looking strikeout, you get the toughest guy to swing and miss in this lineup out via the strikeout, Alec Bohm. So 1 down, Marsh at first. That's served to center. It's a base hit. First and second. Now Real Muto, who just has not been himself all year. JT Real Muto, in a lot of ways, and I know Cal Raleigh had the 60 homers last year, but if you had to pick the catcher of the decade halfway through the 2020s, it would have been JT Real Muto.
Yeah, very consistent. Always getting on base a lot. Got some slug in the bat. This year just hasn't come together. Hitting below 200. On base is about 50 points lower, 40 points lower than it would normally be.
This is his 13th year in the big leagues. His 8th with Philadelphia. Line drive left field. That's fair. It's to the wall, and Real Muto comes through. Marsh is home. Stott's around third, and the Phillies have taken a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, one of the problems when you throw too many sliders is some of them are bound to hang up. Fine zone. Real Muto does a good job staying with the pitch. See how he extends his hands to keep the bat through the hitting zone just a little bit longer. And that's a really nice job by him to keep that ball fair, because he was out in front of it.
Two in, one on. Rincones to first. That's Torp. 2 down. Let's get a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Lease a Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew for $399 a month for 24 months. Or returning AZ Plan lessees can lease a Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew for $299 a month for 24 months.
Derek Hill reached on an error, stole 2 bags, and then made a diving catch to keep the Tigers scoreless in the bottom of the 3rd. Here he takes a ball on a heater, 1-0.
He doesn't have any food in his teeth. Looks like he's got a toothpick.
Well, it stays in there even despite how fast he's running. You see the sprint speed for an outfielder. That's on the top 5 leaderboard there. It's a ball and a strike for Hill.
Yeah. Just had a little steak before the game. Just making sure to get all the meat out of the teeth.
You got a problem with it?
No, not at all. Nope.
You're talking about the meat and the webbing for Dylan Dingler. I'd be so afraid. I mean,
he's pretty calm up there.
When you dive in the outfield like that and you have a toothpick in your mouth.
I mean, what would your mother say, Jason?
think you're going to put an eye out with that thing.
Smashes his face into the ground. Toothpick remains. How? Very talented. That's a different level of talent. He did it with a toothpick in.
There are periodontists across our viewing area.
Is that a dinosaur?
Yeah, it's a dinosaur with gums. Wow. That catch just got even better.
Yeah,
in my mind.
He's just chilling up there too. That's a tough pitch to lay off of. Good fastball up and away. Case gonna have to make a pitch here. Eric Hill's been playing some baseball.
3-2. Line drive left field, 4-0.
Yeah, there's a different level when you see guys just that confidence running through their veins. Saw that home run against Jack Flaherty in this series. He has been nothing but really good. Up at the plate, works it back to a 3-2 count, gets a fastball over the plate, drives in a run to left. Some really good defensive plays. And those are the kind of sparks in lineups and for teams. You know, you get some of those guys that are more fringe players. He was in there, really. They probably wanted him to hit the left-handed pitching, gets the start because Crawford's out, throws the toothpick in, says, let's rock and roll.
Trey Turner.
You got to watch him running here too, Derek Hill. 2 outs. He's already got 2 bags. Hopefully he's getting tired. Yeah, good job by Casey right there. A little extra long hold. See if he would do that quick break. Sometimes guys try to do the timing still. Hold a little longer, then pick over. See if you can get him jumping off as you pick.
There he goes. Throw down to second is wide left. Stolen base for Hill.
He's just putting on a clinic. Guy is playing with zero fear right now. Just out there going and getting it. Good jump.
Maybe hurt himself on the throw.
I don't know. He's kind of got that little side. Maybe it's a cramp. Oh, did he get hit with the bat? Might have got hit on the backswing or something. So now Casey's got to pitch out of this. He's got a runner in scoring position.
This is the first game in his career Derek Hill's had more than 1 stolen base. He's got 3.
I'm telling you, he's playing with a different type of confidence right now. Yeah, 30 years old. He's been up and down in his career. It just never really stuck to have like a full season, full series of at-bats, get 150 at-bats here and there in the big leagues. And maybe at 30, he decided, you know what, I'm just going to go out and play, have some fun.
Popped that toothpick in. Picked it up at the host stand after dinner last night. Grab a couple of those peppermints.
A little mint flavored one.
Yeah.
With the little roller dispenser.
That's as chill can be. Love it. 2-2. On the ground is shortstop. It's McKinstry. Tyler Holton was warming, but Casey Mize gets out of the inning after a 3 spot for Philadelphia. '26 All-Star Dylan Dingler, and it's good news that bop on the hand off that foul ball ricochet isn't going to keep him out of his very first All-Star game. What an opportunity to meet people, talk to people, be around some of the greats.
You hear a lot of the guys when they come back, they learn a lot while they're at the All-Star game, get a rub shoulders with the best in the world and pick up a few things for their own game.
I think I might have said this briefly last year, but it bears repeating. There was an All-Star game a couple years ago that I was fortunate enough to do for the World Feed at Dodger Stadium. So we got to talk to both managers before the All-Star game. And Dusty Baker, then with the Astros, it was Brian Snitker and Dusty Baker. And Snitker was talking about how great it was to get to be around all these people and get to learn from them and all this stuff. And Dusty was like, yeah, I tell my guys, do not overshare. We might see him in the playoffs.
Right.
He'd been there too many times. Dusty was like, this is toxic. You know, he knows how great it is. Dusty's a great baseball man. I don't mean to say that he didn't enjoy the All-Star game, because he absolutely did. But he was very clear with his players. If we might see somebody in the playoffs, there's a small piece, the ball hit the ground, so it's not strike three. If we might see them in the playoffs, don't be telling them what you're looking for.
No.
Sequencing stuff.
Well, and it goes to, Scooble and Robbie Ray have a good relationship. They at the All-Star game, la-di-da-di, but helping people with their change-ups and stuff. And then you see the guy, you don't know, you might face him in the World Series.
Yeah, you never know. Little tapper back to Sanchez. Dingler is out.
But there is a wealth of information that players learn from each other. It's always been that way in baseball. And guys are very generous with information across the board. Like there's not this, there's always a competitiveness in the game between the lines, but there's also this, everybody likes to see other people succeed as well, because everybody knows how hard this stinking game is. And a little something here, a little something there is the difference between an extended stay in the show, maybe be in the minor leagues. It's a big brotherhood.
Sure.
Of people that are all trying to do the same thing. You have a lot in common, because when you get between the lines, the competition's on.
But if you're really smart at the All-Star game, you want one or two pieces of information. And you're talking to like Junior Camanero's teammate, right? Or you're talking to Freddie Freeman's teammate. Maybe you just mix in like, oh, well, I saw this at bat the other day. Maybe you get something that you could use later. I don't know.
Oh, he doesn't like the ball up and away, right?
Oh,
okay.
Interesting.
But the best in the world would lie to you and say, man, my ball up and away I've been struggling with. Then you go throw it there,
That's
and
right.
they hit it out of the park. And you go, wait, I thought you were struggling with that. Like, nah, I was joking.
Gamesmanship.
Yeah.
1-2. Check swing. He did go. Strike three. Full of changeups. Torque is tonight. Two down. Riley Green. Ooh, that was close. Riley Green, three-time All-Star, coming to the plate. Johnny Kane.
Well, he is, and we just saw Torque up there. He was obviously one of one MLB drafts taking place. Torque was the first overall in 2020. Casey, #1 in 2018. Sandwiched in there, 2019 was Riley Green. So here's the story. We were talking earlier today about his memories from draft day that year. He said his family and friends rented a hall where they could all go watch the draft. And while he and his family were on the way to meet everybody there, a car cut him off. The car had a Detroit Tigers sticker on the back.
What?
Riley's dad turned and looked at him and he said, "You guys see that?" Riley said his face lit up, so he didn't know if it was a sign or not, but shortly thereafter, Detroit selected him with the 5th overall pick. So whoever you are, unnamed Tigers fan in Oviedo, Florida with a bumper sticker, that makes for a great story, but next time, maybe use a turn signal.
Johnny, that is top flight info. That's ridiculous. Also, they rented a hall.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
You ever rent a hall, Johnny? 4-0. Your first 4 rounds of Major League Baseball's draft today. The first pick for the Tigers, 22nd overall, out of Egg Harbor, New Jersey, Cameron Flukie, the right-hander out of Coastal Carolina. And then the Kansas player in round number 2, I got a text from a friend at Kansas saying he was lights out down the stretch. Tyson LeBlanc was for the Jayhawks. 3 college players, and then the 4th one out of Holy Cross High School in round number 4. As this popped up by Schwarber, and Hao Yu Lee makes the catch for round number 1. Draft day is always special unless you're getting cut off by somebody in a Tigers
It's still pretty
bumper
special.
sticker.
You have 5th pick, I think he was fine with it.
I think so.
It's done all right.
Maybe the car was the Tigers running to the podium.
There you go.
One down, Bryce Harper, first pitch swing, and that's ripped to second off of Hao Yu Lee. That was a bullet.
That's a tough play. Bryce Harper hits him as hard as anybody in the league, and Hao Yu Lee just kind of has to brace for impact, try to get it on a short hop on the backhand. Just tips off the top of his glove. That's one of those, you either make a exceptional play or it gets by you.
It's a base hit at 102 for Harper. Now Marsh. So the Seattle Mariners were the team the Tigers were chasing in the wild card when play started today, and that's going to change hands for probably like half of the days the rest of the way. But Seattle lost again. They're 2 under. So the Tigers at worst will be 2.5 back of the wild card at the end of play today, as that's a strike and a nice frame by Valencia.
They got some work to do here. Casey's going to have to try to keep it right here, and they got to figure out Sanchez. He's one of the toughest in the league, and after what happened to him in Kansas City, you go, oh boy. You had a pretty good feeling he was going to come out and throw the ball really well. And he has so far, Sanchez.
No, he has been a great bounce back pitcher in his major league career.
That's a sign of a good one.
How about this stat for you? Since the start of 2024, immediately following starts where he gave up 4 or more runs, his ERA is 1.76. And his record is 11-0. There goes the runner. Throw down to second base is there. Valencia apprehends Harper. Maybe turn off the faucet.
Hopefully that does right there. This was a good pitch to throw on. The ball was up and away. It almost turned into a pitch out situation. Watch where he gets the feed. Perfect throw down there. And that's what you got to do. You got to prove to the league, hey, if you're going to continue to try to run on me, I'll cut you down. And hopefully, as the game continues to, it's his first big league game. There is a lot going on in between those ears.
Malgerian right dances back. There's no wall there. The nook is there. And that's the final out. Malgeri gives somebody a souvenir, and Valencia has his first caught stealing.
Yeah, you see the pitch was great to throw on. He does a nice job getting it out quick. Tigers.com/DetroitSportsNet.
First pitch, Valencia lights it up, right center. Oh, yeah! His second home run.
These Detroit fans are going to fall in love with him. Doesn't take long for him to make his presence known.
First pitch, strike one to Hao Yu Lee. Little tapper past Sanchez. Bohm at third. Got a hustle. Ow. That's really close.
I think he's there. I think he beat it.
Edwin Moscoso has the call, and they're going to challenge.
In real time, it looked like he beat it. Bohm just a little bit.
Detroit is challenging the out call at first base.
When he was trying to get the ball out of the glove. A little long with the arm.
AJ gave that look like, you're really going to make us challenge this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not even close. Easy money.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is stayed. Detroit retains the challenge.
So Philadelphia has allowed in the last 9 games 10 runs 4 times. The Phillies have led teams back into it with pitching that has wobbled, especially the bullpen. Now Malgiri, first pitch, called a strike. That was teetering on the edge of the zone.
Well, Sanchez at only 58 pitches. They got to get him working.
He got in on Malgiri. Center field, that's Hill. Back to the home run on the first pitch Valencia saw.
They got him a sinker away, and he was swinging for the fastball in the first at bat, saw some changeups. This time he does get the sinker away and takes it the other way. Opposite field home run. He's got pop. There is no doubt about that.
Now McKinstry, who stung a ball last time and got beat by Derek Hill's exceptional play in center field. Valencia getting after the potassium.
Yeah, you don't want to catch a cramp. Keep the potassium in the body, in water. That's right.
Stave off that scurvy.
Yeah. I think the Pirates used a different method to keep the scurvy away.
Pittsburgh or the ones on the high seas?
Maybe both.
1-1. Z-Mac tries it again for left center. This one is Marsh. 2 down, and Matt Vierling, who's 2 for 2, comes up. We'll give you the Bet365 odds update for Matty V. Over under on 2.5 hits. He's plus 110 on the over here.
He's hit both the changeup and the sinker. Got a base hit up the middle off the changeup, hit one to right off the sinker. See how Sanchez wants to try to deal with him here. Trying to go in, but missed. Matt Vierling's natural approach is to hit the ball up the middle the other way.
He's done that twice today. 2-0.
This is where, if you're Matty V, you want to try to look to do some damage on a sinker. Get it up in the air. You got the lefty behind you. Now's your time to hit one in the gap.
On the ground, scorched and through, base hit. Lee rampaging for third. He is there. Runners at the corners.
Sinker's tough to get up in the air. Matt does a nice job just getting to the pitch. Hits it hard back through the box, and that's going to leave it up to McGonigal. McGonigal hasn't had success today off Sanchez, but if there's one thing we've learned about Kevin, his ability to adjust is real.
He's seen 4 sliders, 3 sinkers, 1 changeup, and that's a slider that ends up in the air into the sunlight to Hill to retire the side. 2 stranded for the Tigers. Valencia gets the Tigers on the board, though.
Second big league homer, scores a run for the Tigers. He's in Nick Castellanos.
It's a good guess.
It's a really good guess, and you know it is. And if it's not, I still get a point.
You know, he had a 1-hit complete game shutout in his 8th career start. It's not that good of a guess.
Is a pitcher.
Yeah.
Jacob Turner.
A little too late.
Yeah, too late probably. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Good guess, though. This is like Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer. Show me potato salad. 2-0 is in there for a strike. 2-1.
Oh, Fulmer.
Michael Fulmer. Do you know any townships in Macomb County or Oceana County named Michael or Fulmer?
No.
but it was a good guess. Any ideas?
No. I gave you 3 really good guesses. Well,
you gave us 1 hitter, to be clear.
That
so
was
you
after
get
the first one.
3-1. That's a strike. Fastball to Bohm. 3-2. Here's your answer. Shelby Miller.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Whatever. Shelby Miller.
Shelby Township.
Yeah, there you go. 3-2. It's fouled away. They could have given you, a Bill in The Simpsons. Shares a name with it. Would you have gotten Shelbyville?
No.
Not a big Simpsons guy?
I'll watch some.
Okay, they're the cartoon family. 3-2, check swing. He went. That's strike 3. Farewell to Bohm. 1 down.
It's a good job working back to the count after 3-1 count. Got back to 3-2 with a really good fastball. Puts him away with a little chase on the slider.
Alec Bohm was less than thrilled. He stranded 2 guys on in the first. He popped out on a 1-0 pitch. Phillies did get their first run in the third on 2 stolen bases and a sac fly, and then 3 in the fourth. That's their lead right now. It's a fastball up 2-0. That's a strike. 2-1.
That's just old reliable for him to the lefties. That slider that just touches that up and away corner. That's been such a good pitch for him.
Popped up. Foul. You know who's in the wild card spot in the 3 position now in a tie with Seattle? Just take a guess. Right now, as of press time right now.
Texas.
Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
The Twins are 47 and 49. The Tigers are 2 back of Minnesota and Seattle. And then you have the Red Sox half a game back. Somehow. The Red Sox and Phillies fired their managers, and now the Phillies are 3 back in the NL East. The Red Sox are half a game out at 45 and 48.
Water finds its level.
I guess.
Yeah, Minnesota though, they've done a good job. We, early in the year when we went to Minnesota, they played really good baseball that first month, but then you said, okay, this is surely going to fall off, and it started to. And here they're making a little run at it.
Twins played fine baseball that series. The Tigers played really rough baseball. That's not a happy Bryson Stott. Vierling makes the catch. Here's a message from Rally House, Michigan.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
That's going to be it for Casey Mize. You left Minnesota and you thought, boy, that's a good team.
Oh, well, better than I thought they would be. Maybe it was because of how bad the Tigers played.
Don't yell at me.
It could have been. It definitely could have been.
Drew Anderson. Tigers go to the bullpen first. Drew Anderson on the hill. Our wall side windows pitching change after 5 2/3 for Casey Mize tonight. And he leaves trailing 4-1.
Some of that was because this guy at the plate right here, he hit a double down the left field line with a couple guys on a slider that stayed up out of the hand of Casey. Drew Anderson. Let's see if that 4-seam changeup curveball combo's got it. Drew just looking to find a little more consistency. We've seen him pitch really well, get a lot of swing and miss with the changeup and the curveball. 4-seam riding up. We've also seen the changeup stay up and the 4-seam flatten out and get hit hard on occasion.
when he's going right, he's getting the ball on the ground. He's nearly 50% ground ball for the year. The fly balls, though, the homer has bit him.
Right. And a few walks. Mix in some walks and a few long balls. And as a bullpen guy, it's tough.
Didn't get the swing he wanted on the change. 2-2. Philadelphia is 3 back in the NL East, and the Braves are trailing the Cardinals 3-0 at the end of 1 in what was rainy St. Louis last night as Anderson pumps in a changeup there. That was nice.
That's the one he likes. When he throws that one, it's happy days.
Christopher Sanchez and the Phillies lead 4-1. Sanchez has 12 swings and misses, 7 of those on the changeup that he's 38% with, more close to his season and career average than that last time against the Tigers.
He's lived up to the expectation of what we thought coming in. The changeup's been a real weapon for him.
Strike 1 for Dylan Dingler, who's seen a good helping of those changeups. 6 out of the 12 pitches he's looked at are changeups today.
I was talking to Z-Mac about right-handed changeups to lefties because that's something left-handed hitters always have to deal with. And depending on the level of the changeup, like there's different types of changeups, and you get used to being able to hit a certain changeup when it starts in a certain spot, but you get against an elite changeup like a guy like Sanchez, your brain says, I can fire on that pitch and make good contact, and for whatever reason when you do, the ball slides under the bat, you're a little out in front against the really good ones. So it's hard to lay off of, knowing in the past I've hit this exact same looking pitch multiple times.
But it ends up being different movement than you're used to.
Right, and that's what makes these guys elite. The Sanchez's and Skubals of the world from the left side with their changeups.
Two coming. On the ground, into left center, rippling through. Base hit for Dingler. Look, 3 hits last inning. Tigers might be starting to settle in here.
Yeah, they're getting in better counts and also doing some damage on some pitches that he leaves over the plate. He tried to backdoor a slider, but Dingler was ready for it. And against a guy that throws a changeup away, that's a good job by Dingler. Don't give up on that pitch, even though it starts away from him. Poke it back through the middle.
Now Torek, who's seen a full array of changeups tonight. There's a sinker. That's just the 3rd fastball he's seen out of 9 pitches.
I think that was designed to be in or in off the plate. I don't even know if that was designed to be a strike. If it was going to have to just touch the corner, just to show it.
Yanked the changeup. Sanchez did. 2-0.
You might as well let one fly here.
A swing.
Yeah. Put your money on sinker. Let it ride. If it's a changeup, swing through it.
It's a ground ball wide of 3rd. 2-1.
So you take your shot there. Now you got to level your approach out a little bit, knowing, okay, that was the 2-0 change. Just a tick out, or 2-0 sinker. There's a tick out in front. Now I got to guard a little bit against the changeup. Work the ball back through the middle of the field.
Like that, though.
Yeah, he's on it. Those are good approach right here from Torek. 2 strikes. You stay with that same approach. Look to the big part of the field.
Dingler at first. 2-2 for Torkelson. He does have him leaning for that changeup off the plate, but you have
for good
to protect,
reason,
right?
Yeah, you got to protect out there. And what that opens up is a little swing back sinker, but Sanchez tried to go in the first pitch of this at bat and missed. Does he want to go 3-2? No. He would rather get swing and miss in a 2-2 count.
To 3rd, Bohm, Stott, double play.
That's the pitch. Nice job by Sanchez. That's a tough at bat. Once you miss the 2-0 sinker and the changeup up and away, he executes a perfect sinker on the inside corner. And like you said, he's leaning out over the plate, Jay, defending against the changeup. Gets in on the hands of Torque. That's why he's one of the best in the big leagues.
Second-time All-Star Christopher Sanchez. He'll be pitching in his home ballpark. Green shuttles his sinker foul, strike one.
And you can see the page that Real Muto and him are on. I mean, they're just like in sync. As soon as he knew Torque's leaning a little bit, they're going in with the sinker. He knows how to set guys up for his arsenal.
0-2. And the thing about that double play too is, Dirks, you have him just below 80 pitches. You're going to save him a couple batters with that ground ball. Again, it's the perfect pitch.
Yep.
To coerce a double play.
You know how you hit that pitch better? You don't miss the 2-0.
That's right. That's an 0-2 strike three on a changeup, and the inning is over. We'll play the seventh. Still 4-1.
And for your Tigers with a membership deposit for next season and enjoy a complimentary game on us. Deposits start at just $100. Include elite perks, an invitation to the Select a Seat event this summer. Visit tigers.com/deposits.
Strike one to Rincones. 4-1 Philadelphia. There's that changeup that will turn you inside out.
It's that changeup that relies on the right rotation and spin out of the hand to drop. Seam shifted wake, as they call it. A fancy word for saying they change the way that the aerodynamics of the ball, the wind traveling over the ball changes, makes it drop.
Oh yeah, because the fancy way was so much harder to follow than what you said.
Exactly.
Which I think the sentence just finished.
If you think of an airplane wing, okay, the wind travels faster over the top of the wing, creating lower pressure, increasing the pressure under the wing, which creates lift. The airplane goes up, but it's the opposite with the changeup. More air going under the ball, less going over the ball because the way where the seam is, pushing the ball in which direction?
Against.
Down. Airplanes go up. I guess they do go down too.
They better.
The baseball goes down based on the rotation that they get.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I thought it.
No,
I
you're
know that
exactly right.
There's a few people out there that probably are like you. I have no clue what that means, and that's okay. But I think for the most viewers probably said, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Hang on, got to do the play-by-play. McKinstry to first, and there's one away. You're exactly right. That is what it is. Our story so far, the Comerica Bank game summary, it's Derek Hill. He has stolen 3 bases, just rambunctious on the base path, diving in left center field, getting the hat tip from Z-Mac, and all the while, that toothpick has hung around.
Yeah, he's had a really nice ball game yesterday and today. Doing it on both sides.
No, what you said is exactly it. I joke around, but
no,
that's the same idea. The aerodynamics of a plane is exactly what pitchers have done to utilize the air and drag on the air to create movement in pitches.
God, you say it so much more eloquently.
Anderson wants to challenge. Anderson's going to challenge.
The Detroit pitcher is challenging the ball call.
Drew thought it was a strike. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. He's right. It's a strike. Now, that's Drew knowing that he has a new catcher to the big leagues. And Valencia has a lot swirling. There's a lot going on. He's calling the game. I think that's good teammate behavior by Drew Anderson.
Yeah, Drew knows it's a curveball, that it can clip the top of the zone, the 12-6 one.
Fly ball to right. Malgiri tracks it short of the warning track for route number 2, and we get a message from Figer Law.
If you've been injured in a trucking accident, make Figer Law your first call. Figer Law. All we do is win.
All we do is win.
With Johnny Kane downstairs, Sir Isaac Newton to my right, Jason Benetti along with you for Tigers baseball in a 4-1 Philadelphia lead here in the 7th. There's a strike to Trey Turner. That's the range of the changeup from Drew Anderson. That's how he can get in your head.
Okay, throws the one for a strike, stays up a little bit, just hit the bottom of the zone, and then that's the swing and miss one. Here 1 second, gone the next. But now you got him thinking about it. As Drew Anderson and Valencia, you know you got him thinking about it, so you can go top rail heater, try to buzz it by him. Sometimes the hitter says, hey, I laid off one, maybe I earned a heater.
Oh, congratulations on earning your heater.
Yep, that's a great little combo there. Get that changeup all in Turner's head. It's a changeup, it's a changeup, it's a, no, that's a heater. Just never ceases to amaze me.
2 home runs, first 8 career plate appearances. He's the fastest, one of the fastest Tigers to 2. It's a group of like 5 since 1920 to have 2 in the first 8. And then a third one would put him in rarefied air. One. Yeah.
He's going to see sinker in or change up away most likely. But you can still leak one out over the plate or get the change up, do some damage.
One, 2. Line drive right center. It's a sinker again.
That's the way it works when you come up.
Andy.
Hit that fastball, baby. Jay, it's all location. These pitchers don't like it when young guys hit their stuff. They want to run back to it. But you see, they start them off. They want to go in with the sinker. You see where Real Muto's laid up. They go with a couple change-ups away, and they kind of get like, okay, we're going to get in on these hands. Nope, ball leaks out over the middle. Gets him a knock.
But what would make you think he was on the changeup?
That doesn't matter. Because
why?
Nothing. Well, he hit it foul enough, maybe. What? No, they wanted to get in on the hands. They thought, okay, I can beat him in, but the ball leaked out over the plate.
Good for them, and good for Eduardo to be on the changeup enough and get a piece of it in this third at bat to get them off of the changeup. That's him doing it in some way.
Yep. That's the same way they worked that torque at bat. Just the one he threw the torque was perfect inside. The one Valencia hit leaked back over the middle.
On the ground, into center. That's a knock. 2 on for the Tigers. Nobody out here in the 7th. And it's so important to strike here before you get to the All-Star, Joan Duran. They're out of this world closer.
See if the young guys can make it happen here. Valencia, Hayuli, and now Maljury. These are all guys that have been called up this year, trying to make an impact on a big league club that's trying to get back in the wild card hunt, trying to get back in the division talk, make a postseason run, hopefully at some point later this summer. Will the young energy prevail over the 2-time All-Star?
2 on, nobody out. Maljury. It's a strike on a changeup. Look, Sanchez tonight has 14 swings and misses. 9 are on the changeup. 4 are on the slider. 1 on the sinker. He's given up 2 hits on the sinker in this inning.
I mean, you would think he would just stick with that. That is a tough pitch. See, it just looks like it's going to start over the middle of the plate, and it's gone. Now, Jason.
Yes.
Why don't they just try to throw a sinker in and leak it back over the middle?
Great.
You're down with that?
Great. 0-2. I know you can't throw it every pitch, but
numbers don't lie. Tigers are hitting 500 off the sinker tonight.
Strike 3, 1 away. Jonathan Bolin is loosening in the Phillies bullpen. He's been marvelous as a bridge guy to Duran. Hard thrower, 97.5 miles an hour on his fastball. You have McKinstry, who's flied out twice. Check, swing, slider. He did not go ball one. And our CNL award on deck hitter, Matt Vierling, who's 3 for 3 with a couple balls up the middle and then a poke to right as well. I would imagine he's not going to face Sanchez.
No, you wouldn't think so. It's probably his last guy right here. These are these left on left at bats, man. If you can pay him off, it's big for a ball club.
That's a strike. 1-1. If it is Bolin, it could be Carpenter or Keith or Outman,
right,
depending on the situation. 3 left-handers on the bench for A.J. Hinch tonight. 1-2, another changeup. Big chance for the Tigers. 2 on, 1 out. Stayed with the slider. Stayed alive. McKinstry did. 1-2. Valencia at second, Lee at first. McKinstry to Stott and Turner, double play. No, safe. Oh boy.
I don't know.
I think he had him.
Look real time like they probably got him. See if Mattingly wants to challenge you up. That was such a well-turned double play. Hit it right at Stott. Yeah.
He's out.
Philadelphia is challenging the safe call at first base.
Not by much, but it looked like he got. A couple of bang plays, and it looks like he's going to get overturned twice. Crowd groans.
The Phillies are walking off the field. The crowd groans. I think we have our answer before we have our answer.
So 2 singles and then a double play ground ball, it looks like.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. Philadelphia retains their challenge.
And that's how the 7th inning will circle the drain for. Tyler Holton has only allowed 1 earned run since June the 5th. These are Wallside Windows pitching change, and Holton will face Schwarber, Harper, and Marsh. Back-to-back home run derby participants in their home ballpark. Kyle Schwarber and Javi Baez were teammates who participated in the home run derby together back in 2018. It's Schwarber and Harper this year.
He hits left on left fastballs better than anybody in baseball.
Left center. That's a hit. Vierling's over to get it. He got a chance at second base. Oh! Tag by Lee. Snipes Schwarber. Tough throw for Matty V. Bang, bang play. I think they got him.
Nice play right there by Matty V and by How You Lee to get over to the ball. Put a perfect tag on it, right to the point. Well done. Keep that leadoff guy off.
All you have to do is mention Javi Baez. You get a great tag as Harper grounds to first. So you get both home run derby participants out to start the 8th, Johnny Kane.
Well, you do, and we were talking with Kevin McGonigal, and I asked him who you're rooting for, Schwarber or Harper, and he's paused a long time. He's like, that's a tough question. He said, all right, I'm going Schwarber. And then today when Schwarber was taking BP, Tarek Scuba comes out and he's watching him and he's jawing at him a little bit, and he said, look, he's like, you don't want to be wrenching your back out too much. Maybe save a couple of swings for Monday. He said, baby, keep in mind, he said, your warning track power here, those are gone at Citizens Bank Park, so don't be discouraged if you only hit it to the warning track in this series. But about Bryce Harper, I wanted to say this real quick. So Harper was interviewed yesterday, and he was asked about Kevin McGonigal. He said, I wish he was in Philly. Detroit's got a great player in him. He did an interview with Buster Olney of ESPN, and here's an idea, and I'd like to get the response from Professor Dirks. He said, when the gold balls are brought into play for the home run derby, what about letting the hitters swing aluminum bats?
Ooh. Oh, no, I don't think that's a great idea, Johnny. I think
I don't get shoot the messenger here. Just a question.
I don't know if those balls will land. There was a guy
that would be something. Those balls would leave Citizens Bank.
So there was a guy named Richie Sexton. You remember him? The big, tall, 6'9" righty. He took BP one round with aluminum bat, and he was putting them in places over there in Seattle where no man has ever seen a ball go.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to watch.
It'd be a show.
Oh, it would be an absolute show.
It'd be a torch suit, too.
I just feel bad for the people in the outfield when there's a low scud missile line drive backspun. That's about 127 miles off the bat, miles an hour off the bat.
That's true. I didn't think about that. That on a swivel.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Bottom 8 coming up. That's where the ball would go.
That's it right there. Watch out.
Splashed rally hat Saturday. Christopher Sanchez stays out there. Look, he's facing a 3-for-3 Matt Vierling. Sanchez still short in 100 pitches.
I think your point was a good one. They know, Mattingly knows if he brings in the righty, there's going to be a Carpenter at bat or a Cole Keith at bat. And there's a lefty right behind him in McGonigal that hasn't hit Sanchez as good as he would probably hit the righty that he brings in.
And with the left-handed shortage in the Philly bullpen, that's what Don Mattingly's left with. Tim Meza threw a lot of pitches yesterday. He's got to be down. And then Alvarado has not gotten lefties out at all this year.
Sanchez at 100 pitches. You just don't see it nearly as much in today's game.
Especially going into the All-Star break. When you know your full bullpen is available, this is a bit of a referendum on what Phillies relief corps looks like for the second half of the year right now.
For sure, and they were getting to Sanchez. Those last couple innings, he was giving up some hits, giving up some base runners. Here you go. Here you go. It's what you wanted.
That's his first walk. And Don Mattingly is just going to live with one more McGonigal at bat. Kevin's only seen one changeup all night. He's seen 5 sliders, 3 fastballs, 1 changeup, and he jumped at a first pitch slider last time.
Just hit it off the end, too.
That's a base hit. It was a sinker. He ambushed it, and the Tigers have 2 on with nobody out again. This has got to be it. Here comes Mattingly.
It's a nice job by Kevin. He was out on a slider, just a little bit out in front of it last at bat, first pitch. So he says, hey, I'm going to use the big part of the field. If he throws the sinker, I can take it to the left. If he throws the slider, I can hook it down the right field line. Gets himself a knock. The Tigers are in business. Phillies got to go to the bullpen.
Dylan Dingler to go to Jonathan Bolin after 2 hitters in the 8th. Our Wallside Windows pitching change is Bolin, who's only allowed 6 out of 20 inherited runners to score 2 earned runs his last 20 innings. Andy.
He's got electric arm. He's an upper 90s guy. Got a tight, good slider, but he'll work both the 4-seam and the sinker. Change up to lefties. Makes a sweeper in. He's a tough at bat.
That clipped him. It clipped him. It hit Dingler. It grazed him on the way by, and the bases are loaded.
That's a risky run when you try to throw the ball in. Teams have tried to throw the sinker into Dylan Dingler for the last month and a half, and when you do that enough times, eventually you clip a guy in a big spot. Now Torque's got the bases juiced, nobody out.
Three-run game. 6-game win streak for the Tigers. First one is ball 1. Torque hits a weird bouncer to short. Turner scoops it. The turn is there. It's a double play. It's 4-2. But the Phillies will make that trade any day.
It's that little slider. Torque was out in front of it, cues it, squibber, tailor-made.
It's up to Riley Green. Ball 1. That is the 3rd straight inning. The Tigers have hit into a double play, and it's been Torque twice.
Yeah, it's been rough that way. Bolin's given up 1 home run to a lefty this year. It was on the 4-seam fastball. See, he's starting Riley out with a changeup. Now you got a 2-0 count here, Jay. We'll see how aggressive they are pitching to Riley here, a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. You know he's going to be set for a fastball once that 4-seam. Challenged him with it.
If Riley gets on, you would figure it'd be Carpenter, Keith, one of the 2 of them for Valencia.
Probably Carpenter, because that long ball plays there.
Colt does have all of his home runs, all 8 of them since June the 11th.
Right.
But usually it is Carey that's the...
Carey's synonymous with home run potential.
3-1. We did not want to throw a cookie to Riley Green. Well then. Caleb Potham goes out to the mound to talk to Bolin.
All right.
Valencia swung it well. He's 2 for 3, a home run and a single, a ground ball to short. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Here are his 5 hits in his last 8 at-bats. In his major league time, very short, but powerful major league time.
Yeah, this is a real power arm that Valencia is going to face here. This is 97-98. He's got to be ready for that heater. He's got a good slider. They're gonna roll with the young guy here. While the energy's hot, keep it going.
Broken bat flares, second base. Hits Scott, and the inning's over. 4-2 to the ninth. Jansen is on for the Tigers. 4-2 game. He was hoping to be a part of a tie or a lead. The Tigers had a double play off Torque's bat in the eighth inning, so our wall side windows pitching change comes in a 4-2 deficit. Some conversation between Vic Carapazza and the first base dugout.
Yeah, rosin bag and mound issue. Something's going on here.
Let's take a look at tomorrow's schedule, brought to you by Bet365. Our upcoming schedule has game number 3, Tarek Skubal and a rather angry Zach Wheeler, who they tried to send to the All-Star game, and he said, I'm not going to be somebody's second choice, so he's not going. Zach Wheeler is as competitive a guy as you're going to get. He's had a phenomenal season. That's your pitching matchup. So what might the headlines be? Tomorrow's headlines today. Let's see what's on the newsprint. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Zach Wheeler, 12-2 Philadelphia in his starts this year. Or that wheel in the sky keeps me yearning. Schwarber, Harper, Marsh have 5 hits against Tarek Skubal, but none of them are homers. Just 1 extra base hit for those 3 guys in some short time, but enough that we can examine the at-bats as they come up tomorrow. 5 for 14, 1 double against Tarek Skubal. So that journey will start at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
That's as good a pitching matchup as you'll get to see in Major League Baseball.
Today was pretty good, too.
Today was outstanding. Sanchez got the ground balls when he needed to, didn't he?
He did.
So did Bolin.
Bolin did, too. Big Bad John got the double play to at least quiet the Tigers' rally in the bottom of the 8th. Kenley Jansen to Alec Bohm.
See if Kenley can get a clean inning right here. Get that cutter command rolling. There it is.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. And strike 3. You said it. He did it. 1 down.
Down that arm slot he likes. Get the ball out in front. Good late life. Got himself a strikeout. Bohm pulled off the ball a little bit, a little late. Kenley takes advantage of that.
Here's Stott. Heard the chant of USA coursing through the ballpark. Congrats to England, by the way, for making it to the semifinals of the World Cup. They won earlier today against Norway. I bring it up in part because the Phillies 2 years ago were part of that MLB series in London.
Yeah, that's right.
Bryce Harper's a big soccer fan. He went into that slide. His wife was a soccer player. He did the whole slide in celebration in honor of the game of soccer. You thought I was just going to randomly give a World Cup score and not have a hook for it? Is that the look you gave me was
No, I just thought it was interesting.
Inappropriate.
You start off with, you hear the USA chant, and then England.
Well, we used to be geopolitically connected.
No, I get it.
I don't know if you've seen Hamilton.
No, I like how you went to, I was wondering where you're going to go, and you went World Cup. That was good.
You'll be back. 1-2. It's fouled away.
There's that cutter at the top of the zone. He gets swing and miss. Stott's got pretty good bat-to-ball skills.
Base hit left center. The Tigers are going to make a run at this thing in the next 2.5 months. They need Kenley Jansen to pitch to his baseball card.
Yeah. It's just location. Like anything in that middle third zone has just gotten hit. Lots of line drives when he throws that ball in those spots. He keeps it at the top rail. He's done much better.
There goes the runner Stott, and he won't draw a throw. This is going to be a tough combination.
Yeah. Kenley's pretty slow to the plate. And we've seen the Phillies want to run today. Outfield basically straight up. Matt Beerling shaded slightly to right center.
On 1-1. It's a chopper to third. It'll be the shortstop McKinstry making the play, and 2 down. Two gone for Rincones, and there is our old pal from the AL Central, Joan Duran, for the Philadelphia Phillies, a trade deadline target for the Phils last year. He's saved 23 games for Philadelphia with a 1.42 ERA this year.
Yeah, if you thought he was good last year, he's even better this year. The split 4-seam combo is really nasty.
He's allowed 5 earned runs all year.
Mile-an-hour split finger.
Hopefully the Tigers can figure it out.
Good luck, boys.
Thanks, Jonesy. Tigers going to try. Pinch hitters galore coming. Colt Keith first, Kerry Carpenter next. In the bottom of the order against Joan Duran. His last 10 outings, 17 strikeouts, 10 innings. Our wall side windows pitching change. That average fastball is 100, and you heard Jonesy mention it. Joan Duran throws that splinker, that splitter sinker that's 97 and change on the average.
It's all about base runners. Try to begin the ball game with, or begin the ninth with. Duran does not walk many.
First one on the ground at shortstop. Turner, one down. So it's a splitter sinker hybrid. Splinker for Joan Duran. It's the fastest splitter in the West, in the East, and the North, and the South. It's not even close.
Not even close. And that's why he's got a 63% ground ball rate. That is rare to see in Major League Baseball. Hard to get him in the air, hard to hit line drives.
Kerry Carpenter will try. First pitch fastball, strike one. Two. lays it foul, a curveball, which is, it's like you throwing a curveball up here in the booth. It doesn't, you don't see it a whole lot.
No, you don't, and it has to look like the slowest pitch on the planet after seeing triple digits back to back. He does a good job just getting a piece of it.
Popped up, back of home. Real Muto.
That's what he does. He comes in, throws real hard, got a nasty split. Tough guy to get a rally going against. But you know what? All it takes is a base runner and a blast. He's given up 1 homer on the year.
That was to Kyle Manzardo of Cleveland back on May 22nd. He's given up 4 home runs since the beginning of last year in the regular season. 1-1 on McKinstry. Tigers' 6-game win streak is on the line. Phillies could close to within 2 games of Atlanta in the NL East with a win and a continued Braves loss. McKinstry in the air, left side of the infield. Trey Turner is underneath, and Philadelphia has won the middle game of 3 at Comerica Park. Duran gets the save. Christopher Sanchez was exceptional, and Philadelphia evens the series.
You knew coming in this was going to be a tough series. It's even right now. Who's going to take it tomorrow is the big question. The Tigers hit some ground balls in inopportune times. Just couldn't really get the offense going against Sanchez. This is what happens. You play good teams, you got to play good baseball. Come back tomorrow, you got your guy, Tarek Skubal, on the bump.